I met a gypsy.
It sucks so much in the moment when you're a kid and you are seeing all these. Like, I used to just make friends with dudes that had dirt bikes. Like, that was the only criteria. Oh, you got a dirt bike? Fuck, let's be homies. Boys. And it was like, you go to the track and you just like watch your friends ride. Like, that's how much I fucking love dirt bikes, you know. I don't know what it is. Like, have you thought about what that feeling is that can make a kid so fucking obsessed with a dirt bike? I kind of got some ideas, but it'd be cool to hear your thoughts on it.
I mean, dude, it's an adrenaline rush the whole time you're doing it. And it's the only time when you're truly just, it's you and the dirt bike, you know, and the things that you're able to do, and your mind kind of wanders off and you're just kind of, everything goes out the window. It's just like, I'm here to ride this dirt bike, hit this jump, hit this corner. It's just, it's a way of, I think, self-connecting, at least for me. My mind kind of goes crazy all the time just thinking about new ideas or stuff I want to do or I'd like to achieve. So when you're on the bike, it's just that moment. You're living so in the moment. You're not thinking of the past and you're not thinking of the future. You're just enjoying just that you're able to ride, and really, like, the adrenaline rush is insane. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the exact same thing. Like, there's just a certain level at which, like, the rest of the world kind of fades away, you know? And then, yeah, to, like, be in that present moment is it's just such, like, a rare thing in life. And then I think that on the level of a kid, like, I don't know whether it stuck with me different bit when I was just, like, really young, because it's like there's just no way you can be more free than when you're a 4-year-old kid and then your dad just puts an explosion between your legs with the throttle and then is like, just go manage this explosion by yourself. And it's like, when you're a kid, you're so dependent on everybody else. You're so dependent on your parents. You have to get taken everywhere. You have to get, like, everything has to get done for you. Yep. And I just think for me, like, when I was a kid, to be given something where it's like, okay, this is on you. This is all your responsibility. You know, like, you can now take yourself around the track. Like, this is just completely your own deal. I feel like that probably has something to do with it as well. And maybe it's like, even if you're a kid and you don't have that feeling, that's sort of what it looks like when you watch those guys out there. It's like, you can sort of see there's a certain sense of, like, freedom in it. And then you fast forward to, like, Crusty Demons and you start seeing, like, dudes in the dunes fucking sending it. And it's just like, whoa, that's possible.
Crazy, huh? That's what I grew up on. So I was probably like around 6-7 years old when Crusty Demons first came out. And my pops took me down to the local store. We got that VHS, slid that thing in. When I seen the first clip, I'm like, dude, this is the coolest thing ever. These dudes, they're riding, sending it huge. They're jumping over fires. There's chicks everywhere. It just looks like the coolest, the lifestyle that came with riding, on top of already being able to ride a dirt bike and just have fun with it. Then this lifestyle comes with it. I was, like, hooked right away. Obviously, your mind, you're so young and you're absorbing everything. But, like, right away for me, I was like, dude, this is it. Crusty, this is the shit right here. Like, this is the life I want to live. And I used to sing the songs in my head, like the soundtrack when I was on a BMX bike. Like that one, he's like, you're going to ragdoll. And I would, like, end up going over the bars or something. But I always thought that was so funny.
Oh, dude. The I don't know whether it was, I can't remember whether it was in a Krusty's. I think the Nitro Circus stuff probably had, like, the biggest soundtrack influence on me. Like, maybe it was in Krusty's too, but you remember that Guarano Ape song, Open Your Eyes?
Yep. Yes, exactly.
Dude, that to me is still, like, all time top 10. And then like Grinspoon, so you want to be a champion? Like, then I found out that they were, like, an Aussie band. I was just like, what the fuck?
That's so cool. I bring some of those back sometimes, like on some older Instagram edits and stuff. I bring a couple of those back, like if we're doing some free ride stuff or something that kind of resembles Crusty or that vibe. And I know this new age and new wave of kids, it's probably their first time hearing it, you know? So they're like, oh, you know, that looked cool in that moto edit. But for us, we're like, you should have seen how much cooler it was back then.
Yeah, dude. And when you're, like, first hear it, like, this shit doesn't exist. Like, they're literally creating a vibe out of the ether.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah, with
Dude,
the
I think,
soundtrack, the riding, everything. They just did a good job putting that. They were on the forefront of that stuff, and it was just like no one had ever seen anything like that before, and to that full scale and that riding, and it was just it was crazy. They really opened the doors for, I'd say, free riding and making videos even possible in moto.
Dude, I just like my content brain now. I'm just like, fuck, we almost need to like remake some shit. Like, I mean, they can make Transformers 150 times. Like, why can't we remake, like, you know what I mean? Like, our childhood shit.
It would be cool as hell, especially some of those old spots like out in Beaumont and Retchie. Like, you could go back to those spots, find them, maybe get an old school camera like a VX or something and kind of bring back that same vibe and film it that way, and even use some of the soundtracks as well and just recreate it just, 20 years later. And show how iconic that those spots are still there and like it influenced moto that heavily.
Oh man, definitely. And then like there's still all those guys are around. It's not like those guys still aren't ripping and riding. Like Deegan still throws down, like a Twitch still throws down, Link Ogle still throws down. Like there'd be so many people that I'm sure you could get out there and like just make some crazy old segments.
They'd love to get back in the mix. I went out to Beaumont like 2 or 3 years ago with Deegan and Hill, and Deegan said it was his first time out there since they had filmed with Krusty's back in the day. And we went around. We tried to look for that little diving board one that he tried to drop off on, but he enjoyed it. He's like, dude, I grew up on this stuff. It's cool that you guys are still out here doing this, because he even recognized some of the spots and it brought him back. You could tell he was reliving some Crusty moments there for sure.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.